So, has anybody else noticed that in Miraculous Ladybug, the Order of the Guardians is legit the worst organization known to mankind? Like, I know Gabe, aka Hawkmoth slash Shadowmoth slash Monarch slash whatever other stupid name they come up with, is technically the show's main villain here, but in my eyes, the Guardians in the extended world are among the most immoral and incompetent organizations that I can think of. Like, what's going on here, fellas? A bunch of irredeemable twits, if you ask me. Like, there's just so much to hate. I mean, for one, let's just look at the life of Wang Fu, the last Guardian. So, Master Fu's the old dude that we meet during Season 1 who hands out the Miraculouses, and he trains Marinette to take over the role as Guardian of the box. And we never really learn that much about him early on, except that he's very old, and he came to Paris from Tibet when he was young. But then, in the episode Feast, it's revealed that as a young novice, he was tasked by the Masters to sit and guard a miracle box for 24 hours. And he can't eat, or sleep, or do anything really, he just has to stand vigil. And thus, he uses the Peacock Miraculous to create Feast, who can go and get him some food. But since he's angry at the Guardians, it goes berserk and slaughters everybody and destroys the entire temple. Whoopsie! So already, the first demerit point comes in. The Guardians have left a child unattended with a potential weapon of mass destruction. Like, what's the plan here, guys? Why does the box not have a lock or something to prevent this kind of stuff from happening? Like, I get he was supposed to learn discipline, but yikes, everybody died. Maybe a couple of fail-safes wouldn't have been remiss. Regardless, we already have our first problem to be looking at. They leave children to wield artifacts of immense power. In fact, Fu does this again when he gives out the two most powerful weapons in the box to Adrian and Marinette. And they're, 14 or something at the start of the show? Adrian literally has a ring that gives him the power to disintegrate people. Like, straight up, that's what's gonna get Gabe in the end. You wait and see. Dude's looking like a piece of rotten roadkill left out in the sun on the side of the road. Dog. Like what? Adrian helped him up or helped him cross the road or whatever it was, and suddenly this means he's the man, the child, for the job? Fu? And then it happens again when Suhan straight up lets Marinette have just all the Miraculous. Just keep them all. It doesn't matter. And just because Fu named her a Guardian, I mean, let's not forget, Fu was only the Master of the Box because he accidentally murdered everybody else. Why would Suhan ever trust his judgment? And I know the point of Furious Fu was that she earned his respect, but it happens over the course of what? An afternoon? He watches her for one day and decides, yeah, she'll be fine. What? I mean, he has all of those edicts that she's supposed to follow to be a Guardian, and yet she doesn't do those. And yet he doesn't do diddly squat in the end. And then she loses them all, and then he comes to scold her only to get immediately slapped down. I mean, what? What sort of mystical Guardian is this dude? Getting told off by a teenager. So like I said, almost no common sense. No real oversight, just, yes, random child I've just met, have a mystic weapon. It'll work out for the best. After all, it is you, the child, who is the expert in these magical weapons, not me. Not me with my years of experience and training. Ugh, a bunch of incompetents, I tell ya. Bunch of fools. But indeed, that's not the only endangerment of child welfare that the Order of the Guardians propagates. Because let's not forget the beginning of the story that Fu told. The part where Fu didn't actually want to be a Guardian in the first place. Kids are apparently selected, whatever that means, I guess chosen by the Guardians. And then according to law, their family was socially expected to drop them off at the temple and just not see them again. It's a great honor apparently, and their kids are transformed into monks. And if you want to leave the temple, well, before your training, good luck getting home, kid. You live in a remote temple in the middle of the Tibetan Himalayas. Where are you gonna go? Where? You gonna eat snow? Didn't think so. But maybe you want to go and start a family one day or gracefully retire. Tough luck, because your memories are toast. Basically kills you. You want to leave, you have to die. Because really, isn't a person the sum of their memories? Like, what the hell's this? They're personality killing people out here. Poor Fu, he was forced to become a Guardian. He has to live with the guilt of accidentally killing everybody he knew in the temple because they gave him a weapon capable of doing so when he wasn't ready or willing, and then loses like what? All 180 or so years of his life, all of his experiences, when he gives up the box to the next generation. What kind of bullshit operation are the Guardians running? It doesn't seem fair. I get the need for secrecy, but goddamn, if you can make it so they lose their memory, surely you could just make it so you can't reveal any of the secrets once you leave. But then, beyond that, what actually is the mission of the Guardians? Like, what are they supposed to do? It says on the wiki they're supposed to protect the world, but to me, it feels like they just contribute to the chaos. Like, yeah, there are some good ones, some good things they do. You know, where the Guardian seems to turn up and gives hope to people whose land's getting invaded or who are being oppressed. And in the lore, there are miraculous users who threw off colonial oppression, like the Mexican Ladybug. And there were Korean wielders that fought against invasions by Japan, but then you get other pretty wacky examples of characters who were chosen. For example, Tomoya Gozen, who was given some anonymous Miraculous, and who is a real historical character who fought in a Japanese civil war to establish a new shogunate. And not only that, but legit, she just fought on the losing side here. Like, what was the point of giving the Miraculous out? Just to contribute to chaos? Or what about the time a Guardian gave the Ladybug Miraculous to Joan of Arc? On paper, a good choice. France was getting bodied by England during the various wars during the period known as the 100 Years' War. So, the Ladybug giving the people of France hope? Seems like a good idea to me, right? Wrong, because the Guardian for some reason figured, well, may as well give England a Miraculous too, but why? England wasn't getting invaded. Surely, this is just prolonging any conflict, as no longer can a single hero curb stomp her way to victory against the enemy. And every time the Miraculous wielders fight, the war would get messier and more drawn out and go for longer. More levies would be called up to fight, more lands destroyed, pillaged castles, burnt villages and farms, whatnot, more disease. Feels like a majorly dick move by the Guardian. Oh look, a series of conflicts that have been going on for generations. Let's make them worse, shall we? Like, come on, Guardians. That ain't peaceful. But that's not the only example of terrible judgment when it comes to selecting wielders. One of the Guardians gave the Fox Miraculous to the Pied Piper of Hamelin. And you might think, oh, but that was just a silly tweet by Asterix, Smarty Pants, don't take it so seriously. But tough luck, it's canon now, son. Anyway, this dude, in the story, charms the rats to leave Hamelin with the promise of payment. When the village screwed him over, in most versions of the story, he murders all the children. Lovely. Great choice, Guardians. Good one. But wait, there's more! Let's shake our fists at the inaction of the Guardians within the time frame of the show, and the time periods we've been shown. So, Suhan returns, right? And he's the only person who knows that style of kung fu specifically designed to defeat Miraculous wielders. Mirror Kung Fu. Oh, anyway. Terrible name aside, is there a reason that he's not regularly teaming up with Ladybug, our other Guardian? Or at least teaching her this combat style for when she has to fight Monarch and take him down without getting away? Like, where were you during Kwame's choice, mate? Monarch got them. You should be there to fight. It's just willful and malicious incompetence at this point. Do their brains smooth out when they become full-time Guardians? Same with Fu. Mate, during World War II, what were you doing? You live in Paris, and by 1942, the world at large knew that Hitler and the Nazis were genociding Jewish people and other minority groups in the areas that they'd conquered. Fu, you have a time travel Miraculous and a teleporter. Please kill the Nazi leadership, dog. Make a portal under their ass and make them fall out of the sky onto the concrete. What are you doing? And so to me, the more I see of the Guardians in their order, the less I'm liking them. From Suhan to Fu to those that came before them, it feels as if as soon as you join the Sacred Order, you become incompetent to a malicious degree. And I just can't stop thinking that they make everything they touch worse. The Guardians, they're the true secret villain of Miraculous Ladybug. Anyway, enough of my half-baked ramblings. This is the end of the video, and so I would like to remind you that these have just been my opinions, and now I'd like to hear yours. What do you think of the Order of the Guardians? Do you hate them like I do? Or do you think they're secretly great? I'm curious for your thoughts, so make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and let me know.